Welcome to Brain Health Besties, a human forward podcast for those of us who want to feel better but don't know where to start. I'm Bailey, a licensed professional counselor.
And I'm Nia, a qualified mental health professional.
And I'm Shelby, a human.
We are so glad you're here. And we believe that you deserve to know how your brain works and how to nurture it, even when self-care feels a little challenging.
We focus on kindness to ourselves and recognizing our own needs with as little guilt as possible because your brain deserves a bestie.
Oh, there's stars in my eyes. I can't see which way is right. But oh, if there's one thing that I know, it's only up from here, 'cause there's no...
Hey besties, welcome to our Be Well moment. This episode connects to episode 5, our 2-ish word check-in. So we want to give some, a little bit of premise around the practice. We hope that people are listening to our episodes when they're doing all kinds of things. So maybe they are in the kitchen getting ready for the day. Maybe you're already out driving to work or wherever you're going. Maybe you are having a dance party. I don't know what you're doing, but we want to make sure that everyone's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So today we're going to walk through an exercise. But if you're in a place where you can't do all the things exactly as we are instructing them, please don't. Please don't. But we're going to hopefully be able to instruct you through some ways that you can still participate.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Agree?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you are a visual person, we do have a wonderful tool called a Be Well Feelings Finder on our website. You can find that at bewellcommunity.org.
I love that. We do have really cool tools.
We do.
Just so everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this one is the 2-ish word check-in. And again, I just love that it's 2-ish words. So just like we are not just one thing as the people we are, we have lots of different emotions and they can come at different times. They can come together. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them at the same time. And they all change.
They do.
They all change. So in this practice, we're just going to take the time to try to think about how we are feeling right here, right now in this moment. So with the tool, it's kind of nice because there's all kinds of lots and lots of emotions. That tool actually has 114 emotions on there. 114.
And that's not all the emotions that exist, right?
Can't be. It can't be. All right. So let's get started we always like to get a little bit comfortable. So that might mean different things to different people, but we're all here sitting in chairs. So maybe just putting your feet flat on the ground, that helps you feel a little more grounded. Maybe you'd like to take your hands and put them somewhere comfortable. If you put them in your lap, you kind of feel the warmth from your body and that might be comfortable to you. Maybe you put them on a counter, whatever it is. And then let's start with just a nice big inhale and exhale. And you may choose to close your eyes. You may choose to leave them open. For you also, depending on where you are, you might put some music on. As we now just sit with ourselves, taking this time to check in with our feelings. How has this day been going? Are you looking forward to things? Are there things that may be a little bit challenging? And then also, I invite you to think about where those feelings may be in your body. Sometimes we may have a thought that's in our head that is continually running on just repeat. Sometimes we are people that end up with a headache if things are kind of piling up. Sometimes maybe if we are a little bit tense, we feel that in our shoulders or maybe even in our stomach. So as we go through this exercise today, just take this one moment to try to define all the things that you're feeling right here in this moment. And as we think about these things, we want to also know that we are able to not stay in this moment forever. This is a moment that just gives us one of the first steps that we can take for ourselves, being able to put some definition to how we're feeling. So with that being said, I want to invite some observations. How did you guys do with that exercise?
Thank you for that invitation, Nia. I also like the word two-ish because sometimes you have a couple, sometimes you have 5. Today, I think I have 2. I am excited because the weekend is coming. It happens to be my birthday weekend.
Yes.
So I'm excited about that and in a celebratory mood. And then also, thank you for the invitation to feel things in our body. That's easier for me sometimes. I carry my stress across my shoulders. So I think and I'm feeling it today. So I think my second word would be just a little bit of stress.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person, and sometimes for me, images or body sensations come before a word pops up. So when you first asked what you're feeling, I just envisioned this huge empty space, and I'm like, there was this panic. Maybe part of what I'm feeling is panic. There was this panic moment of like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what's in there. Which is not unusual for me. That's a typical thing. When I'm in my own therapy, oftentimes that similar thing happens. But then kind of digging in and allowing myself to settle in a little bit. I'm feeling some tension, like anticipatory tension, not bad tension, but just like that when you're on the edge of excitement, but you're not quite too excited yet, but you're right there. There's also an immense amount of peace around that. So I think that's maybe where that anticipatory excitement or that anticipatory tension comes from. So it's complex, nuanced, all of the in between and not just straightforward. So I would say, I think that's what I'm feeling in this moment. And that could change in the next few moments because that's how feelings work.
That's exactly right.
What about you, Nia?
I like that. I think, well, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it today. I was just going to ask you guys. So let me think. I think, I don't really know. Yeah. I'm going to sit with that. Kind of like Bailey said, she says, I think you said, I thought, I think that's how I feel right now. And I don't really know that I have an answer.
Yeah.
Hearing you reflect that back to me and say that out loud. I think the challenge was I was thinking about it instead of feeling it.
Okay.
I was doing that. I was trying to logic into my emotion rather than going the opposite way, which I think is really how this 2-ish word check-in works best. And we're going to be in different spots at different times. But when I am logically, cognitively, like frontal brain thinking, what is it that I am feeling in this moment? I'm like crickets.
Yeah.
But then when I'm like, okay, settle in a little bit and feel it. And to be fair, you were leading the practice, so it's a little harder to actually do that.
My turn too.
That's kind of what helped me was like to get over myself a little bit to that intellectualizing what I was experiencing.
Yeah. And it's all okay.
Yeah.
It's all the human experience. If you were not able to pinpoint emotions during this practice, that's okay too. It's a practice.
Definitely.
We got to get the reps in. We can try again later.
Definitely. And I do want to say too that if we happen to dig in and find something either that is challenging for us, maybe it's one of those emotions that we want to hit the eject button on, or we didn't quite know the depth of its existence, please, everybody, remember emotions are temporary, that when we allow ourselves to be in them and feel them, if that is safe and appropriate in the space we are in, that's what helps move us through, and they will not last forever.
Yeah.
And that's different than like diagnosed mental health disorders. So that's not true for things like depression or clinical anxiety. However, if we have a feeling in a moment that is temporary and they change moment to moment, which you alluded to as well, Shelby.
Yeah. Thank you. And I do want to take this opportunity, besties. You don't have to feel it alone. If you dug up something in this practice that feels scary or feels uncomfortable, you can always call, chat, or text 988 to be connected 24/7 to trained crisis counselors who can help you through it.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Shelby.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's always the reminder that we always want you to know anytime we're in this together.
Yeah. Absolutely. And if you want to learn a little bit more about how this practice is helpful for our brains, please tune in to our previous episode, the Learning Together episode, where we talk about the 2-ish word check-in. Thank you all. Take care, besties. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Brain Health Besties so you can find us in the future.
And since sharing is kind, share us with your besties.
If you have mental health or wellness topics you'd like us to chat about, please reach out to bewell@livebrightly.org.
Until next time, be well, besties.
Shining brighter than the sun.